Hey guys, welcome to Module 2, Seminar 2. This week we are going to talk about the different kinds of culture that we have within our big culture. And the two that really pop up is what we call pop culture and then also subculture. So when we talk about pop culture is essentially just another word for popular culture. It's what's in, okay? And as we talked about, societies are constantly in change, all right? Now, when I was, and I'm an old man. I'm 45 years old. But when I was in high school, every single kid had what they called the mullet. All right, and the mullet was the hairstyle that the boys had. All right, and basically it was all business up front, and it was just a party in the back. Right, so it was short hair up front, and then it had the long hair in the back. Right, and here we can see a little meme of the mullet ratio, which was just, party on top, business in back, you divide, and that gives you your mullet ratio. All right. When I had, and obviously when I had hair, I definitely had a mullet, and I thought that I was really cool. All right. Now, as a middle-aged man, I can look back and just laugh at how ridiculous it looked, and I can promise you, whatever styles, whatever kind of things that you find in popular culture now, there will be a day that you'll look back and you'll laugh about it because, we constantly change and we constantly adapt. All right. So pop culture is what's popular within that culture at the same time. Okay. Now, the other one that we're going to talk about is actually called a subculture, and subcultures are they're smaller parts of that big culture. So how we can see here, so what might be a subculture within a bigger culture? I mean, when I was growing up, it was, there was a big punk scene. When I was in high school, it was at the birth of the time that a lot of punk bands came out, and they did that kind of as a counterculture, and they kind of set up their own separate entity. All right. So what I want you to do for this reflection question is I want you to think about your own community, no matter where that is. All right. And then I want you to talk about what are the characteristics of the subculture in that area. So I want you to identify if there are any subcultures, and I want you to talk about, what kind of things are prevalent in that. Are they mostly youth? Is it mostly, is it older kids? Is it all younger kids? Okay. So as we look at this, Seminar 2, there's a couple assignments. Obviously, you're going to be following pretty much the same little path that you normally follow. Okay. So we're going to go through, there's a really great Khan Academy video here about the culture and the subculture that I want you to watch, right? Then I also want you to get in and I want you to start to discuss the discussion board, okay? And basically, what are some examples of cultural lag that are present in your life? And next, I want to know if you think technology affects culture positively or negatively. So how has Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, how have all of these changed your perspective of culture, or how has it changed culture altogether? Okay. And then when we get into this again, you are going to be doing the project. All right. And this project is all you're going to do is identify several examples of pop culture and describe how they inform a larger culture. All right. And again, as society moves forward, and again, it's constantly under a certain amount of shift. All right. We're constantly changing. Typically our metropolitan areas kind of lead the way. Like I can remember growing up, again, I had a good friend that lived in New York City, and she would come visit us. And she, what we were doing in Altoona and what we thought was cool had already happened in New York City the year before, and they were onto something different. So we were behind. So I want you to think about that, okay? And then for the last assignment, and when you take this quiz, you'll realize it's only a few questions, all right? And it's relatively short and to the point. But I want you to think about some issues or concerns of your generation. Are any ideas countercultural, right? And then what kind of subcultures have emerged from your generation? And how have the issues of your generations expressed themselves culturally, all right? So hopefully you guys will enjoy doing this unit as much as I love teaching this unit. I think that you'll really find it interesting, and it does speak home to hopefully most of you. So Okay, so all I want you to do again is I want you to talk about your community and any subcultures that you might see. So, all right, thanks again.